You've heard the terms, right? Words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, they're everywhere. They're all part of this massive cultural phenomenon, the five love languages. But what if the simple truth we've all come to accept isn't really the whole story? Well, that's what we're going to dive into today.
I mean, it's a question we've all probably heard. Maybe you've even asked a partner. You might have taken the quiz online or had a whole discussion about it. It's a concept that has really, truly embedded itself into how we talk about relationships.
Yeah, this whole idea has become this go-to shorthand for how we show affection, and its popularity, let me tell you, it isn't just some fleeting trend.
It's actually a massive success story. Gary Chapman's book, which came out way back in 1992, spent almost 300 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. Clearly, this idea really struck a chord with people.
And that is the twist we're exploring. Because despite its immense popularity, a growing body of scientific research is starting to push back, suggesting this simple framework might not be the magic key to a happy relationship after all.
Okay, so to really get what the critique is all about, we first have to be on the same page about what the original theory actually says. So let's do a quick little refresh. So Baptist minister Gary Chapman came up with these 5 distinct categories. These were, in his view, the main ways people communicate love. You've got your verbal compliments, your undivided attention, actual presence, helpful chores, and of course, physical affection. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
And here's the core promise, the thing that made it so popular. The theory suggests that if you can just figure out what your partner's primary language is and then learn how to speak it, your connection will just get deeper and better. It's an incredibly appealing idea, isn't it? Like a simple fix for a really complex problem.
But, as appealing as that simple fix is, that core idea has recently come under some pretty serious scientific scrutiny.
So for more than 3 decades, this theory pretty much went unchallenged in pop culture. But then, in 2024, researchers took a really hard look at all the data, and what they found? Well, it questions the very foundation of the whole love languages concept. What the 2024 study did was it systematically reviewed all the existing research, and they found this surprising lack of actual evidence for 3 of Chapman's main assumptions. First, that we each have one preferred language. Second, that there are only 5 of them. And third, that just speaking your partner's language automatically makes the relationship better.
And the critique really zeroes in on that famous quiz. It makes you choose between things like getting a gift or getting a hug. But in the real world, who wants to make that choice? The research suggests that, actually, people find all of these ways of showing love important. So the quiz, it kind of creates these artificial categories that don't really reflect how we actually feel affection.
So if love isn't a language, then what is it? Well, the researchers came up with a new metaphor that might just be a little more accurate. Instead of just focusing on one single food group, they say we should think of a healthy relationship like a balanced diet. You need a bit of everything, right? A full range of essential nutrients to really thrive. Some days, you might need more protein, say physical touch, and other days, you might need more vitamins in the form of kind words.
And as one of the study's authors, Emily Impett, puts it, this model allows for change. Because people in relationships, they aren't static. What you need from a partner can shift from day to day, and this balanced diet idea actually leaves room for that natural evolution.
And this idea of a broader, more flexible menu of affection is being explored in other really fascinating ways, especially in communities that felt kind of left out of the original 5 categories.
Just take a look at these. Info dumping. That's sharing passionately about something you're super interested in. Or penguin pebbling, which is giving someone a small random gift, like a cool rock, just because it made you think of them. These are really powerful expressions of love that just don't fit neatly into Chapman's original boxes. And it shows just how limiting that 5-language model can be.
This quote from Megan, who's a neurodivergent mental health professional, just drives the point home perfectly. She said that for years she thought she didn't want or need affection because the ways it was supposed to be expressed just didn't work for her. Expanding the definition of love is what finally allowed her to feel seen and cared for.
So the crucial point here is that by moving beyond a simple one-size-fits-all formula, we might be able to find a deeper, more dynamic way to understand connection. Think about the contrast with another approach, like imago therapy. While love languages are all about diagnosing an individual's type, imago focuses on the interaction itself, that space between partners. It's less about a simple hack and more about the ongoing work of empathy and communication. And this matters, because focusing on a type can lead to blame, like, "You're not speaking my language," instead of mutual effort.
So, let's be super clear. The takeaway here is not that giving gifts or spending quality time is pointless. Of course those things matter. They absolutely do.
The real issue is with the metaphor itself. Trying to box something as huge and as dynamic as human love into just 5 rigid categories might actually be limiting our ability to connect. It can even cause real harm when the formula doesn't work, leaving partners feeling like they've failed, instead of empowering them to explore all the complex ways they can show up for each other. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought. What if we shifted our goal entirely? Instead of trying to learn a static language, what if we just committed to the lifelong, ever-changing, and probably far more rewarding process of simply learning our partner?